check it. How does a mogul of a multi-million-dollar company gets knocked out outside of clubs, shot 6 times inside a club, go to jail for probation violations, beating up on people, all kind of crazy stuff? I mean, do you hear anything about Barry Gordy, tussling in the club or doing crazy stuff? No. Suge Knight must have a cloud that hangs over his head for all the wrong reasons, going back to dealing with people in the industry and bullying people and doing all this stuff. And no matter what he do, he seems to get himself into trouble. Now, the cloud that I speak about is like the Carma the Carma cloud is what I call it. Carma cloud. OJ he was acquitted of murdering his wife and his ex-wife and a friend of hers, Ronald Goldman. And ever since that acquittal, he's been back and forth in court and all kind of crazy stuff. So now the cloud finally dropped on his head where he got arrested for stealing his own stuff. Now he's doing 15 plus years for that. So the karma cloud has dropped on his head. Now he's gone. Suge Knight, all the things that he's been involved in, back and forth, beating people up and smacking people and doing all this other stuff. First off, he gets shot at a Chris Brown club concert, I guess you would call it, because it wasn't like a concert in a big arena. It was like a nightclub or whatever. Suge Knight gets shot 6 times. Didn't die. Suge Knight now is supposed to be, I guess, making a movie. And I guess the movie has something to do with Compton, titled Compton or whatever. He gets in an argument with 2 people on the set, or I guess they're part of the crew or whatever. He gets into an argument. Witnesses say that they argued, and after they finished shooting and things like that, the 2 men go over to this burger joint where witnesses allegedly say that Suge Knight's red truck backs over the 2 men that he was later arguing with, backs over them, and then puts the truck in drive, and then goes over them again. Now, one of the men was pronounced dead, and the other one in critical condition, serious and things like that. So, after running these men over, he basically flees the scene. Now, I don't know about you, but how do you put together a defense on something like that? How do you put together a defense? I thought I hit a garbage can. Okay, how do you claim that you hit a garbage can when you put it in drive and you ran over that same garbage can? But what's going on here? But anyway, hypothetically speaking, I think that, and I don't like dealing with hypotheticals only because hypotheticals can lead to other things. But in this case, I think that what you have to understand is he has a history of violence, whether he's perpetrating the violence or violence is being perpetrated upon him. And the witnesses stating that he was behind the wheel of that truck can only lead to him being arrested and convicted, in my mind. Arrested, charged, convicted, and sent to prison. Now, I see this video where he gets out of a car, turning himself into the police, lawyer, cigar in tow, puffing away, and he gets out, and the cops, detectives, they were plainclothes detectives with shields on their waistband and everything, shaking hands and yucking it up. And I'm saying to myself, that looks a little bit uncomfortable right there. That looks odd to see that happen. But they're shaking his hand, yucking it up or whatever, and they take him into the station house, I guess, to process him and basically get his side of the story. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because if somebody witness me doing something, how do I say not guilty? People witness Suge Knight run these people over. How does he defend himself against something like that? The Karma cloud. Let's see if the Karma cloud is going to drop on him on this one, because someone is dead and someone has to pay for that loss of life. And if Suge Knight was the only one behind the wheel of that truck, how do you defend yourself against witnesses and the fact that might be your vehicle and you was the only one driving it and you was on a movie set and you flee the scene? What, I wasn't there? You can't use that defense. Or somebody else was driving my truck? You can't use that defense. You have witnesses. So we'll see what happens.